We go where the soft hearts gather, where every curve gets crowned, laughing loud in our group chat palace. Girl, we run this town. Finger hearts up in the air, we show love everywhere. No shame, no fear, just us right here. Welcome to paradise, baby, we shine. Every shape divine, everybody a shrine. We lift each other higher, yeah, we rise. This is our world, our home. Welcome to paradise. Welcome to paradise. When the world gets cold, we don't fold, we hold. Welcome to Fat Tea, where the gossip's hot, the laughs are free. Spill the tea, no calorie count. Real talk's what we're all about. So grab a snack, come sip with me. You're listening to Fat Tea.
And we are on. Hello, everybody.
Hey,
It is
back
Fat Tea Monday.
again.
Welcome
Fat
back.
Tell your
Welcome
friend.
back to
Oh,
the
turn
shit
it down.
show.
There we go.
How are you guys? Chat.
Uncle Earth.
How was your weekend, everybody? Hope you all had maximum fun. And let me tell you guys, Friday was wild. And it looks like Monday is going to be just as wild. We have two, not just one. We have two guests for you today. Other than this little gnat that's flying around my head right here, but we have people sitting in the waiting area right now, eager to say hi to you all and spill some tea. And let me tell you, there is a lot of stuff that is going to be talked about. So I hope you all are sitting down and turn your volume up, get the popcorn, get ready. And if you are rewatching this later, then, I hope that you are sitting down and you're ready for some tea.
Real quick housekeeping for every super chat we send, we are going to be getting K-Bug. Rip.
For every super chat, guys, K-Bug is going to do exactly that. Also, let me make sure that the bot is ready, so that in case somebody is going to super chat, it's going to get rewarded appropriately.
Someone send a super chat and test it out.
No, I'm done. Hold on. There you go. Okay. All right. So where do we start? Should we start with the first guest, one of Shay's really close friends and part of the Paradise Wifeys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ta-da! Everybody.
Welcome in.
Welcome. Shelby!
Oh, wait, can you see me? Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
I can't
We can see you.
Hi, everybody.
We can see.
Vic Kimmy K super chatted $1.99. Stacy
Okay, I gotta take two.
super chatted $5. I will start it off, LOL.
Ah, yes. Thank
Aw,
you.
Thank you.
All right.
Where did the bong
So-
sound go?
Oh, it's all the way at the bottom.
The bong sound is on the very bottom right here. So since that is
Oh,
a
God.
manual physical bong, she can't do a blinky.
Dow City Winter
Oh, God,
6503
here we
super
go.
chatted $5. Get it, K-Buck.
Get it, K-Bug? Map says, babes, Shelby. All right, guys. So
Shelby,
really
why are you
quick,
upside down? Just kidding.
Who's
That's just in
upside-
And
Discord.
she's muted.
No, she's not upside down. It was okay. Turn it back, Shelby. Turn it sideways.
K-Bug, you're upside down.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect.
What is in this weed?
I was like, what the hell? What do you mean I'm upside down?
In my
You
Discord,
are-
she was upside down.
K-Bug, are you sure that you're not in the upside down right now? Okay, so Shelby, somebody in the chat like hating on her already, saying Shelby has absolutely no tea. This is
It's
not
cat.
just
What do you expect?
always. This is not always about tea.
Yeah,
you know
you
what?
guys.
You know what? Shelby is on the sticker.
It's blurry.
Obviously, it's blurry, but it's the Paradise Wifeys, and it is Shelby, first person on the left. Shelby, Shay, Helica, Vicky, Bree, and Crystal. So once upon a time, when Shay was a big role in Paradise and still is a big role in our hearts, there used to be a little coven called the Paradise Wifeys. So if anything, Shelby was very, very close to Shay, and she was part of that circle. So while there might not be spicy tea or like any drama or any gossip for her to spill, if anything, she was a very close friend to Shay for a long time. And she's been part of Paradise on and off. She's been watching, and then she was in a relationship, and then she was not watching as much, and then she came back. And now she's been very, very sadly, tragically, since Shay passed, she's been in the lives a lot. She's been in the box. You guys have seen her in TikTok lives and whatever. So she's a close friend to us at this point. So she has every right to be here. And there will be questions for her too.
Yeah.
Put the magnet back. So I guess now I need to bring up my host chat because there is so much today to talk about. Basically, hold on.
Are we bringing up the other guest right now, or?
Yes, the other guest is going to come up any second here. I just wanted to introduce Shelby really quick so that people know who is talking and why she's here. And there is going to be some tea and some stories that like very closely involve Shay. And having somebody that was in Shay's very, very close friend circle of women, because I don't always want to put me in the center of things, right? There was a lot of group chats that I was not part of. There was a lot of discussions between the women that had nothing to do with me. That was literally just like they called each other the Paradise Wifeys, but nobody was dating me. It had nothing to do with me. Paradise is a place. Paradise is a space. Paradise is a mindset. Paradise is friendships that evolve that don't necessarily always have to include me. Like, this is not a cult where everybody like, bows down to a leader. Absolutely not. So many times I have seen friendships evolve in the pool, in the living room, outside, in the smoking area, and I'm sitting here working. And Shelby actually hasn't been here. It was all online. There was group chats, like, Shay's song about the group chat palace. It was their Snapchat group chats that they spent hours and hours in those group chats and, talking to each other in the middle of the night sometimes, So I want the viewers to just have that context. And just checking really quick. what happened this morning on TikTok? Oh my God, yeah, guys, the tea is boiling over. Like, if you've seen the announcement for this, if you've seen the thumbnail for this show, like the little cup is boiling over. And now let me Shelby and Shay, have you met Shay in person? No, right?
No, I've never met Shay in person. It was all over like FaceTime, Snapchat, TikTok. Yeah, no. I was actually supposed to meet her a week before she passed away. We had just gotten back in contact and everything like that. I was in Vegas. I was just there for like 2
I
days though.
remember
So
that. I remember her
yeah.
mentioning that you were in town and you wanted to come by and see her. But
Yeah.
she was sick.
Yeah, she was sick. Yeah, I was still gonna go. It was just like I said, it was just like a 2-day trip, unfortunately. I wanted to go back and see her, but unfortunately she had passed.
Yeah. And now, 2.5 months later, a lot of conflict between grown-up adults still revolves around, like, either how people were there for her friend or not, or like, how like people were connected because of her, and how she sometimes too, like, absolutely kept people connected. She kept people together. Like, people loved seeing her on live. People loved hanging out with her. People loved those group chats and everything. She just had this personality that was just connecting people. And now, very, very sadly, as you all know, the educated viewer at this point has very easily picked up on the fact that a bunch of people that used to be, that met each other through Paradise or Shay, and have been close or not so close friends to her in some way, shape, or form, have either turned on each other or, like, turned on the rest of the group or whatever. It's been heartbreaking to see, like, the kind of like group split that we have been experiencing, like, after her passing, and her family getting involved in, or like getting thrown into some drama and thrown under some buses or whatever. So it's like, we just all have to, like, figure out, like, how we're going to navigate this eventually, because we don't want to, like, continue to grieve a friend lost by having to talk about situations that are not that positive. We want Paradise to go back to, like, a place of acceptance and love. We want this live stream, this podcast too. We want to absolutely go and discuss, like, interesting topics, like helpful topics, flying while fat, traveling while fat, like, clothing, all that kind of stuff. There's going to be sessions here that I'm going to sit out because they are mostly women topics. I want you all to be part of it. I want the viewers to be part of it. I want the viewers to have a say in it. I want ideas. I want to hear, like, we all, the whole panel right here, we want to hear your ideas. We want to allow you guys to participate. If somebody has a story, funny or heartbreaking, send us a message and come on this panel and be a guest. So this next guest, our surprise guest, is a really, really big name in the industry. And when we talk about the industry, I'm talking about adult entertainment. Somebody who's actually somewhat famous. Somebody that's been on screens worldwide, and somebody that's had, like, a name before TikTok was even a thought. This person has been to the house. This person has been here at Paradise. She's met some of us. She's also met in person some of the people that, like, she is really upset with right now, or like that she has a couple of choice words to say about. So without further ado, let me bring her in. And hello.
Hi.
Can you hear? Yes. And you got the camera going and everything. Perfect. Like, perfect
You see
timing.
me?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect.
I can't see myself.
You can't see yourself?
No.
You're perfect. You're perfect.
Okay. Okay, cool. As long as you guys are good
It,
and
it
You
works.
look
like it.
gorgeous.
Audio
Hi,
is perfect. Picture is perfect. Everybody watching, welcome the famous BBW Glory Fox.
Woo!
And now
Hello,
here,
everybody.
I'm too slow. I should have here.
This is how I say hi. I shake my boobs. All the ladies. Hi. We were just doing that in the waiting room. We were all shaking our boobs at each other. It was great.
Looks good.
So people in the chat already recognize her, and the people in the chat are saying, "Nice to meet you, Glory Fox."
Oh, it's
We
nice to meet you
also
guys.
we all are very happy to have you here on this panel. So tell us really quick a little bit, like, what do you do? What is your what's your claim to fame? How long have you been doing this? And just tell us a little bit about yourself.
My claim to fame is I give the best head. I'm just kidding. I mean, kidding, but not. My claim to fame is I am a porn star. I'm not just a content creator. I'm a porn star. For all the OGs who've been following me for a bajillion years will know that. I started in 2005. And yeah, just bested my tail. I'm AVN nominated. I'm on box covers, not just one or two, like at least a dozen. I have well over 100 scenes out there. Most of them are plumper pass, not most, a good chunk of them are plumper pass. That's really who I worked for a lot before I had retired. So yeah, I'm a porn star. Hi. And and then I retired to have my son, and I decided to come out of retirement. It's been what, 2 years now, to give OF a try. So now I'm a content creator, still porn star, somebody, I guess. And I guess I've done a good enough job. I guess guys agree that I give crazy head and I talk a lot of shit to my co-stars, and they love it. I love it. And so yeah, that's what I do. And what was the other question? I totally spaced.
Oh,
Um,
like, how long have you been doing? How long have you been doing that?
um, let's see. Yeah, since 2005. I've been in the industry
All
since
right.
2005,
So you
and
are
so
a
I'm one of the
legit.
OGs.
You are a legit
Yeah,
OG. You
yeah.
deserve that title. The
Thank you. I
internet
appreciate that.
the internet was young and green at the time, and TikTok was
Thanks.
just somebody's wet dream.
Yeah, you were
It-
so right. I try not to be like I don't want to come off as conceited because I'm not a conceited person. I joke, but I'm not conceited. And I am of the the OGs like Samantha 38G, Sophia Rose. Sophia Rose actually came out and started after I did. So but we did me, Sophia Rose, Samantha 38G, who's an icon. I adore her, and several others. Bunny De La Cruz. I worked with her one time way back in the day. We're OGs. We were there before it was clips for sale. We were there before, like you said, TikTok, IG, OF, before Pornhub. I like to believe that we ran. So all the future content creators and plus size porn stars can run as well. Like we paved the way for them. So, and I love that. I absolutely love that. I love my contribution to it and being able to, in my time, encourage women to embrace their sexuality, let their freak flag fly. And yeah, I love that. I encourage them to do that, make something of themselves and embrace it. And yeah, fuck it. So,
and
um, inspire women to feel comfortable in their own skin. I love that. Because obviously I'm not a toothpick. So, and I've gained a lot of weight since I retired too. So I love that I can be that OG who can pave the way for all you ladies who want to get in this industry, who want to be empowered, self-employed, not have to work for the man, make your own money, all that stuff. I love that, and I little low key get off on that. So, but that's who I am. That's what I do. I'm an OG, and some men have dropped to their knees, literally, and kissed my feet, calling me a legend. I remember there was one time I was at the Butterfly Lounge, and I had literally just walked in, and this guy's like, "Oh my God, you're Glory Fox." And he dropped his knees. He dropped his knees. He's like, "Can I kiss your feet?" He's like, "You're a legend." I was like, "Yeah, of course." Like, who am I to tell you no? So like I said, that's not me being conceited. Like, oh, to my own. No, like, there's people who've done this, and Google me. Google me. You'll see all my stuff, whether it's the really old stuff like my first scene I ever did that was with Byron Long, up to what I do now. So yeah, that
And
is who I
you
am.
say before social media, before anything, like literally those times were before even Facebook, right? What platform
Yep.
was your original starting out grounds? Like where did you get published? Where did people back in those days watch you?
Core Group, Channel 69, Plumper Pass. I was Jeff's Models before Jeff's Models was Jeff's Models.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, before he even started doing his own thing, which is Jeff's Models, he had shot me for a lot of stuff for Urbana, which is Channel 69. I've done stuff for Red Light District. I've done stuff with, there's people who might still remember this name, CJ Wright. That was one of my most popular scenes, Bumpin' Body Fat, and it's PHT. Who was,
So
oh, the
mostly
Savage Brothers.
websites though, right? It was all
No,
websites. Like it
no,
oh,
it was
okay.
all film.
It was
Film.
actual like DVDs and shit? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
As a matter of fact,
that's
and
old school.
I didn't bring it down because I don't want to get your channel in trouble, but I still have one of my magazines. It's Big Bet
Okay.
magazine. Where I got the cover, I got centerfold, and they did 8 pages on me. That's one of my biggest accomplishments, and that was in 2008. I think the edition's November 2008 of Big Bet magazine. So yeah,
Okay.
I was film, and then just as like websites were starting to become a thing, then they start putting my stuff on websites as well as DVDs. So
Right.
like a
That's
lot
what
of
I
the
remember those websites. I remember like those
yes,
websites coming up. Yeah. Okay.
Score Group was one I did a few times. Um, so yeah, like I mean, old school. So I'm pretty
And
proud of that.
in, interesting and respectful question from the chat. Somebody says, Glory
Sure.
Fox, what is your favorite content to make? Like what type, like what is there any out of all the content that you produce, like is there any specific area that's like your go-to that like you like to do most?
I'm gonna say I guess like a gangbang, which is me and
Okay.
like multiple guys. I think the most I've done. Well, no, my second scene I ever did was an orgy, 6 guys and 6 girls.
Oh,
But
all right.
outside of that, I've done gangbangs with me and like 3 guys, and I love that because first of all, I'm an attention whore. And second of all, I love how these guys talk so much shit like, oh, I'm going to rearrange your insides. I'm like, bet. And it's actually on film where it's like me and 3 guys, and you see them. It was the Savage Brothers and like one other guy, some guy that they brought. And they're just sweating, pouring sweat, and they're banging it out. And literally, and it's even funnier because I wasn't wearing a watch, but I'm sitting there, I'm like on my side with a leg up in the air, that position. And he's going, right? And he's just dripping sweat. And I'm like, is that all you got?
You were like,
And I love
oh, okay,
doing
bring it,
that.
you know?
I love testing him, because he talks so much shit. Okay, tear me up. Do me. I hope this isn't too graphic for YouTube, but like, get it in so good that I can't sit right when we're done filming. Okay. Other than
That's
that,
a good way. That's a
stop
very
talking
good way to
shit.
say it. Yeah, it's a good way to say it. Like I was gonna tell you earlier. I was gonna tell you earlier, and I forgot. In the process of this and the tea that you're going to spill coming pretty soon, when it comes to your past experiences, I was told that on YouTube certain things should not be pronounced out. Like when it comes to your, let's say for example, the real SA you've gone through, just call it the R word. Like don't really say it. And
Gotcha.
just try to keep it social media, like PG-13 or whatever you might call it. Like I don't know what the other
Oh, gotcha.
classifications are. Like
Yeah,
we
we don't want to
still
get in trouble.
we want to be respectful on here. We want this podcast to be informational, some bubbling hot tea, but we also still want to all be respectful. There's going to be no nonsense name calling or just putting somebody down, bullying, harassing, like needlessly shit talking somebody. This is based on facts. This is based on receipts and also obviously based on personal experiences, which would be the next small little topic that I can weave in here. What is your connection with Paradise? You've been to the house, and what was your experience when you came here?
Um, I my experience with Paradise. So I didn't know who you were for a long time, and it wasn't until I got into doing OnlyFans that, I started being more present online and making my profiles. And one day I stumbled across one of your lives on TikTok. And I just thought you were pretty cool. And the girls, and just seeing all the girls and how y'all were just having so much fun, but it still had like a family vibe. I remember that, seeing you guys have dinner together, and it was so much like a family vibe. And I liked that. And I was like watching. And as I got kind of more comfortable, you'd see me, I know you'd see me kind of jump in and hee hee, or, especially if I'm elevated, I'm like, hey, I'm going to be out that way soon. Like, where's a good place to eat? And just so random. And or if someone was being disrespectful in the chat, and I mean out of line, I would jump in and just put them in their place. And um so I always watched you guys. And then it was over a year ago, I became friends with a Jack Kelly. And so, with that being said, he was coming out to the United States, and I just happened to be in California visiting my sister. And I knew he was, with Shay. Rest in peace. And I loved seeing Shay on camera. I think she and I would have been really good friends. I loved her personality. She was no bullshit kind of girl. Whatever. So, but I never knew her personally, and I never got to meet her, unfortunately. But I knew her through like proxy through Jack. So he come out from the Isle of Man, and it was perfect timing. I was just about to go home. Before this was right before the doc. I think it was still at least a week or two before the documentary was going to drop. And he had just flown in. He had only been in town, what, 2 or 3 days max. And I was on my way home, and I said, hey, Jack, like, I'm so sorry about your loss. It is so unfortunate. And, I don't mind coming and like meeting you and taking you out for the night. Just so you can, kind of get away from everything, because I don't have a dog in the fight. Like I said, I didn't know Shay personally. I didn't know you guys. And all that. So I thought maybe if I took him out, it would kind of like be a good pressure release. Does that make sense? And kind of
Yes.
help, with everything with his grief. So he was staying with you, and he was like, yeah, like come pick me up at Paradise. I was like, okay, cool. So I was really excited because I'd already seen all the TikTok lives of the women who were part of the documentary. And I was like, but I knew what I'd seen from you. And I'll tell the chat this. I'm the type of person, I base my opinions off of what I know, what I see. I don't ever go off of hearsay. I don't care what anyone has to say. I go off of what I see, and I make my judgment off of what I see, what I hear directly from the horse, so to speak. So you have these people, these women, you know, crucifying him before the documentary's even dropped. We don't even know what's going to be in the documentary. But I went in with an open mind to your house, Stefan. I was really scared. Not scared. That's not the right word. I was nervous. I was really nervous to meet you, and
Yeah.
was nervous if you were going to
Valid.
let me in. Yeah, I really thought Jack was going to be standing outside. But when I pulled up and he wasn't, I was like, okay. And when you let me into your house, you were so warm and so welcoming, and Rissa too. And that was really comforting, and that kind of set my anxiety down. And I got to talk to you for a little bit. And he was so nervous, and I don't blame him for one bit. You have people making threats on you, and people saying these crazy things and accusations. It was wild. If you don't know, and you've been living under a rock, it's been wild. But I went in with an open mind and an open heart. And while Jack was like getting ready, I got to talk to Stefan and Rissa. And Stefan was like, yeah, I was really nervous about you coming over here. I didn't know who was going to walk through that door and how it was going to go down, so to speak. And that's so valid. And I was like, no, I don't have a negative opinion about you. I don't know you to have a negative opinion about you, especially when everything I've seen has been good, Um, so it was really cool to talk to you. We talked about like Costa Mesa, the Butterfly Lounge, and
Yes.
Club
Oh
Bounce.
yeah.
I was
The old days. Yes.
OG, OG. I was big on that, and maybe we crossed paths at Butterfly Lounge. Who knows? Because I was there a lot, with a girlfriend of mine. So yeah, I picked up Jack Kelly. I had booked us a room at the Rio, or no, I'm not the Rio, the Strat. I'm sorry, the Strat. Um, and I'll be honest with you, I booked that room and I was not expecting him to pay for that because I was going to need a place to sleep anyways. I'm driving from California to Tennessee, stopping in Vegas for the night. Picked up Jack Kelly. I bought us dinner. I bought us drinks. We had some edibles. He didn't pitch in once, which was shocking to me, or offer. If he would have offered, I would have been like no, this is my treat, like I am doing this, but at least have the decency to offer. But he didn't. And that night was interesting. And yeah, and after that, I couldn't wait to get him back to paradise. Couldn't get him to paradise quick enough. Uh I will, and I'm not trying to be mean when I say this, but I am real. Um, what's crazy, Stefan, is that when I got to your house and I talked to you, um, I never, I never got the ick. I never felt a certain way. I never felt like something was off from you. My read from you was really good. I felt comfortable with you. Jack, on the other hand, it was crazy because the second we walked out your door, I had the instant ick. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be facetious. I had the ick. I
Mm.
knew right then and there. I I had plans. I wanted to go see the Zach Bagans Museum and take him with me and all that. And instantly, I didn't want to do any of that. I just wanted to just, you know what? We'll just get some dinner. We'll just have a good, relaxing night, whatever. And I'll send him on his way. And yeah, I couldn't get him back to your house quick enough. And I remember calling my
That's very,
sister, and I was, huh?
yeah, I was gonna say like that's very unfortunate, like
Yeah,
uh,
the vibe, there was something off, and from and it was validated when there were certain behaviors that happened that I disclosed to you, that it just validated that feeling of ick I had,
mhm.
and it was even more ick. Like I said, I couldn't wait to get back to your house, and that's what it is. I'm a good people reader, and what's crazy is that after the fact, now seeing the things we're going to talk about later in this podcast, and after seeing the events unfold and seeing behavior, seeing all the things, my feeling of ick was even more validated. Like it
Now,
was crazy. My spidey senses were like, something's not right with this, and
I,
sure enough, everything after validated that feeling and my suspicions and everything, which is unfortunate because I liked Jack. We were friends for a long time. He is a subscriber to my OnlyFans, and he knew that I knew, and that's totally cool. And we would have some deep conversations, and I really believed that he was mourning Shay. But after that night, I knew it was bullshit.
now let me ask you this. Um, Literally, like that's exactly the transition point. You told us earlier that you had witnessed or you had seen a live on TikTok or like something. Explain where you saw. Like the whole world now knows because it's so public that Sakina is dating him again, and like she made it also public on her profile, like how she's buddy buddy, and
Mhm.
she's like posting all the pictures up with him at the bash, and like claiming that she's dating him again after she has
Yeah.
dated him before last year before she met Shay. Didn't you say that like you saw her or you witnessed her and Layla on a live,
Yeah.
talking bad about Jack? Like, why would you talk bad about
Yeah.
Jack one day and the next day you posting
Yeah.
up with him?
It was
What's
wild
that story?
because It was wild because at that when if I remember correctly, the documentary hadn't dropped just yet. I think it was like, if I remember correctly, it was at least a night or two before. It was pretty close in that time frame. And for those of you who don't know me, because sometimes I talk about it on my socials, I have insomnia. So I don't sleep, and I don't sleep very well. So I'm up at like the weirdest hours. And Rissa and Stefan can attest to this because you see the hours I come into their chat, their lives. It's the most randomest hours. So I doom scroll in bed all night long. And it's wild how like things just pop up on your For You page. Like I was not purposely looking for anything on Jack or Sakina or anything like that. I was literally watching funny videos and reposting them. And Layla Plus her live had popped up on my For You page on TikTok. And it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm telling you, it was a weird hour. And I don't know if they were doing, like, first of all, I don't know why you would talk about this stuff. Like, this is really personal stuff. So I don't know why you would talk about this on TikTok live and expect people to not see it. I don't know. That's wild behavior to me, but whatever. They're younger than me, so maybe it's a generational thing. But anyways, it was Layla's TikTok live, and Sakina was in the box. And I mean, Shay had just passed, and it was wild because Sakina was talking like Layla was trying to ask quite like documentary type questions. It wasn't one of those like, oh, this is a gossip session. But Sakina had brought up, she's like, well, Stefan's a predator, this, that, and the other. And like, I'm glad these girls came forward, blah, blah, blah. But then she brought up Jack Kelly, and that's where my ears kind of perked up. That's where I initially stopped. Because usually if I get into a live, with the exception of Paradise, and like people that I know, I kind of stay in for a minute and then I roll out. I have the attention span of a flea. So so it's the tism, the ADHD, okay? So, but the second she said Jack, I was tuned in. Like, you got my attention. And she was talking about how Jack is a predator, that she's been warning all the women to like watch out for him because he gets around and this, that, and the other. And Layla was like, so weren't you guys like together or something like that? She's like, yeah. She's like, Jack and I were actually together, like doing the long distance relationship thing, and we finally met at the bash. I think it was at Breeze pop up. They had met,
Yes,
and
correct.
she said that, yeah, she said that that like things were great, woo woo, whatever, but she wanted him to be monogamous, and he didn't want that. He claims he's poly, and he didn't want that. And she was really upset that he wouldn't be monogamous for her. So they broke up. And she said, she was like, I was devastated. I was crushed. And then he got with Shay. And it's like, are you
And
really
that
talking
was
about a
the
dead girl
reason.
like this?
And that was the
That
reason
that was
to call him a
yeah,
predator.
yeah, yeah. And
Okay.
so she yeah, so she was like, she was talking shit about Jack, and then went over her history with him, and was just like bashing you and Jack, right? And I'm just like, what? And I'm telling my sister this, like, oh my gosh, like texting her all the things. I was like, you would not believe what I saw. And so my sister and I, we joke and say we have caseloads, and Jack became one of our caseloads. And Jack would post all these like, poor me, woe is me, feel sorry for me kind of posts on Facebook. And I tried to be a friend. Despite the fact that I wasn't into him sexually, I still try to be a friend. And um, because I didn't know, I didn't. If I knew what I know now, I would have cut off all
You were trying
communication.
to be
But it's
supportive,
whatever.
which is
That's,
like completely.
yes,
Yes. Okay.
I was trying to be supportive, and so I'd message him on Facebook, and I'd be like, "Hey, are you okay? Like, what's going on? If you need to talk." Because one thing I should let everyone know is that, like, and I've told Stefan this, is I keep to myself. I keep to myself. Like, there's like, I go to Cocoa Beach Bash. I've been twice, but I don't make it a habit. I haven't been to Vegas Bash since like 2006. I keep to myself, and I don't get involved. So I don't have a dog in this fight, y'all. I really don't. Um, but this is my experience, and my experience, what I've seen and what I've witnessed, really validates a lot of stuff. Like Darren, when Darren was on the other day, what I've seen and witnessed and experienced validates everything Darren was saying. And it was just clicking. So my sister and I were like, oh, okay. So yeah, so I messaged Jack. Sorry,
Yeah.
distracted. So I messaged Jack, just like, hey, and I'm not fishing for information, so I can be like, oh, like I don't care. I've got a whole ass life going on, and I've got my OF and all my socials. I've got too much going on to be fishing for drama. So I was trying to be supportive, and he lied to my face. Like, he was playing in my face, talking about, oh no, I'm fine, everything's good. And there was one day, I've got the receipts for it, where I was like, well, you don't seem okay. Your post doesn't seem okay. He's like, oh no, it's totally fine.
I find it mostly upsetting if I was in his position. Like, first of all, the big loss and all that kind of stuff, but like finding out that the person who is so proud and so loud and so public about, like, being with me, taking pictures with me, like showing off at the bash with me, whatever. That same person, not a couple of weeks before, like, called him a problematic or a predator just because,
Yeah,
it was before the
that's
bash. It was before the
wild.
documentary aired. It was before she got a chance to sink her claws back into him. She not only
Yeah.
did she talk. This is my personal opinion. Not only did she talk shit about me, and leveraged some allegations against me just because she doesn't like me anymore for retaliation. Now she did the same thing to Jack, and poor Jack is basically just trying to navigate, like, the rocky, I don't know what you even call it, like the rough waters of just having lost the love
Yes.
of his life, and still coming to the States, and like everybody wanting to talk to him, and like
Yeah.
him being on TikTok, and there's like lovers and there's haters and all that kind of stuff. And
It's wild.
the one girl basically that was really trying to date him and want to be monogamous with him was talking mad shit about him, and actually, like, making up allegations against him just for
It's
why. Like,
crazy
there's
work.
like this whole mentality of making up allegations for retaliation is a big problem. It's like it
It
seems to
is.
be a generational, like, social media problem. Like, that's what happened to me. If you have a platform, which in this case, it's not even a valid thing because Jack Kelly didn't have a platform, but there was a lot of ears. There was a lot of people interested in him. There was a lot of people watching him through Shay. Their whole life
Mhm.
was so public because Shay was such a public figure, right? So now
Mhm.
all of a sudden, for somebody to go on social media and basically make up allegations against Jack, immediately, like, when I heard that, when I found out, I was like, oh my fucking God. Like,
Yeah,
that, that
it's
there
wild.
should.
And and now she is parading him around like a prize pig she won at the country fair. Like, haha, I won. I got him in the end. Like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like,
Yeah.
that is peasant behavior. That is
Yeah.
peasant mentality. Like, let's be for real right now. Sakina, I'm ashamed for you. I have secondhand ick for you and your behaviors and whatnot. I don't believe you love him. I really don't. I believe that you love the idea of him, and you love that the idea of you won, even though there was no competition, there was no game to play to win. There's no fight to win, and it's disgusting behavior. It is. And Jack, and I'm going to say this because I don't want anyone to mince my words or twist my words. And I'm going to say this now because I tried to keep things in chat and private and reach out to him. The other day, most recently was the other day, I sent him a message and I was like, "Can I?" It was after his live on TikTok, and he was talking about Sakina, and he's just like, "People want me to put on like this big act and slit my wrist and cry and da 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 da," and that's just. And so I wanted to talk to him as like a friend and just give him some advice. And since he don't want to respect what I was trying to do, he wants to play in my face and act like I don't know what's going on, which is crazy talk. Because like I said, I'm up at all hours of the night. I see a lot. I just don't speak on it. Okay. I'm gonna say this, Jack. It's okay to like grieve, right? No one there's no time limit on how long you should grieve. There is no specific way to grieve. Everyone grieves in different ways. And Simi said it best the other night. Grief makes you act out in weird ways. It does. But at the end of the day, Jack Kelly, you are in the wrong. You're very much in the wrong. You got comfortable in this community. You got comfortable at the bashes, and you really thought for a second, because these girls who are making accusations on Stefan, not just Akina, but the other girls, gave you this false sense of security to let your guard down and act however which way you want. And you thought for 1 second that no one was going to care about what you and Sakina was doing. And that's disgusting. Thank God that there's still some decency at that bash, that people saw what he was doing and what Sakina was doing and said, no. And I'm glad that they spoke on it and made him feel crappy about it. I don't want people to feel like crap, but you know what I'm saying? Like, open his eyes and let him know that what he's doing is not okay. It is not okay. Now, with that being said, if you want to go fuck around, bounce around from girl to girl to girl, knock yourself out, but do it in private. Keep it under wraps. Because some people feel better, if they release that stress sexually. Like I said, people grieve in different ways, but you could have kept it under wraps for quite some time. But no, instead, you let Sakina like do these things to you, and you were willing. Like, I remember the first pictures I had seen was your thigh with hers, and I knew instantly it was you. She didn't have to
I
tag you.
saw that.
I knew.
I saw that post.
I
Who posted
knew.
that? Sakina, right? It was on Sakina's account.
Sakina did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, on her IG
That's like
account.
that's my biggest like I also want the world to know this podcast, this platform. Of course, I talk a lot about, like, the documentary things that were talked about me, how I've been treated unfair, that there's been a collusion between women trying to like literally organize against me or whatever. But I also want everybody to know I'm doing this podcast to be neutral. I'm doing this
Yeah.
podcast to let Glory Fox speak her truth. And I have said this before. I had Darren on here because Darren, I reciprocated the respect. Darren gave me respect to allow me to speak on his TikTok, on the panel on his TikTok. So Darren is always welcome to come up here and speak his truth. I even said I would let Jack Kelly up here too. Like, I'm not going to lie. I want this platform to be what TikTok is not. I want this to
Yeah.
be a fair and open and neutral,
A form of free
like,
speech.
yes, a platform where people are allowed to speak. And I don't want anybody to judge the rest of the panel. Like, whatever
Yeah.
Glory says is valid in its own right, but it doesn't necessarily reflect like Sumi's thoughts or
Yeah.
Rissa's or Audrey's or whatever, right? Or K-Bug.
Yeah.
We all have our
So
own opinions on things, but
I,
I
I
want
thought
this to be.
I just thought it was
Sorry?
deplorable, and I kept my opinions to myself, even though I was watching everything in real time and having the discussion with my sister. And I mean, I could show you the chat, Stefan, when we get out of here between my sister
Yeah.
and I. That for what, 2 months? You'll see. She and I were clocking everything he was doing. Everything I thought and felt that I was discussing with my sister was being validated in real time. And like I said, I don't get involved in drama. I keep to myself. But when I had watched your last episode and Darren came up, I felt a really strong urge to reach out to you and tell you my truth. So that way it validates everything Darren's saying. Because that was such a heated conversation with the panel and him.
Yes.
And he
Yes.
is so valid, and seeing I've seen his lives too, and so I know that he's going through it, the family's going through it. But to see that, I really felt like he deserved to hear it from somebody who has no dog in the fight, who knows Jack
Like,
Kelly,
literally,
has
you
seen.
have no.
Yeah, literally,
There's
I don't
nothing for you to
benefit from
win.
this.
No, like,
Nothing
I've been like,
whatsoever.
I saw today, absolute fucking shocker. Somebody accused me of paying off Darren, paying him to come on the podcast and speak. I would never. Like, Darren, anybody that comes on this podcast, I want this to be absolutely 100% loud and clear. There is no exchange of any money to come on this podcast. Just like the documentary, nobody in that documentary got paid. Having somebody up here voicing their opinion and paying them for that would be foul. So for somebody to actually make an allegation up that I paid Darren to be on my side, I'm assuming, I'm pretty sure that Darren himself is going to say loud and clear, is going to stand loud and clear against that, because I have no reason to pay anybody to convince anybody to speak for me. Anybody that's ever spoken for me or against the manufactured allegations and all that kind of shit did so out of their own right, because they thought with a working noggin, and they was like, and this is a perfect transition. I still want to show this, right? I have something on deck right now that I want to show. I got some receipts, guys, because at the end of the day, everybody knows I am a man of receipts. So this girl right here, Glory Fox, a professional, an OG that we just learned, has been in the industry for a long time. She came across a live stream the other day, and she herself sent me the screenshot. So mind you guys, all the viewers, Glory Fox, again, has no dog in the race. Like, we never boinked. There was never anything. Like, she's not been
I
a
didn't even
big part of
advertise I was
Paradise.
gonna be here
Correct.
tonight, and I could
Correct.
I have a huge platform. I have a lot. I'm sure you've seen. I've got 204,000 followers on Instagram. I didn't even post anywhere that I was gonna be on this show tonight.
You don't need to.
Because
You don't need to.
I don't need to. This isn't about me. I'm not trying to gain anything from this. I hope Darren sees this. And Darren, I'm so sorry, your family. I'm so sorry. Try not to cry because it is sad. And my heart goes out to Shay. And it's disgusting. It really is. And Darren, Shay's family, my heart goes out to you. And I'm so sorry that you have people like these girls, Jack and Sakina, doing all this. And Jack, real talk, if you see this, you did the biggest slap in the face to Shay, to the memory of Shay, to Shay's family, and anybody who gave two fucks about her. You're wrong for that. And maybe it's an immaturity thing. Maybe your frontal lobe's not fully developed and you're not thinking about what you're doing and the hurt it's causing people. I'm crying because I'm so mad. Because I'm so mad. And I don't even know the girl. But, if it was any one of my friends, I'd be even madder. I'd probably end up in jail. Y'all be putting money on my books. Because God forbid if Jack Kelly or anyone did that to anyone I loved and I cared about, best believe y'all be posting my bail or put money in my books. It's disgusting. And Darren, I hope you see that. Like, I hope that you see that you're validated. Like, everything you said is validated because of what I've seen and what I've experienced. And the best part is I'm not even done, y'all. I'm not even done. There's more. There's more. As a matter of fact, not long after the bash had started, again, I'm up all night as I do. And I'm scrolling and I can't remember for the life of me who it was. It might have been Peachy, it might have been Esme, it might have been Jordan. It was one of them three. But they had their TikTok live on, and on the wall was a picture of Shay and a bunch of candles and some roses. And I was like,
Peachy.
it was Peachy. It was so beautiful. And I sat there and I was like, wait a minute. They're all at the bash and
Hold
they're
on.
all woo-wooing and taking part in this BS with Sakina and Jack. They're encouraging it. They're partaking in it. They're taking pictures. I mean, because obviously Sakina's not the one taking the picture of Jack and her together and someone else had to take it. So it had to be one of those girls. So how dare you put a shrine up to Shay on TikTok Live, which tells me all these bitches' tears is for clout. How are you gonna do that? Have that going? Well, literally in real time, at the same exact time, the bash is going on, and you're there and you're promoting this relationship with Jack and Sakina. Disgusting. And you call yourself a friend of Shay? No, you're not.
Also,
You're not.
really quick, Jesse, thank you so much. I don't know that the bot stopped working, the TTS bot stopped working. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Saying Darren has a text thread with Shayna stating herself where she says that Jack Kelly is not poly. Also, while we're on the topic, did you guys boink? And you don't have to answer that part. That's like, if you like private information, but like,
All I'm gonna say is I don't understand what the hype is. I don't understand the Jack Kelly hype. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not drinking. I tasted the Jack Kelly juice and I spit it out immediately.
Let me transition over really quick to the situation that we still have on deck right here. I don't know if you can see the stream like on your phone, like I'm screen sharing the screenshot right now okay, that's okay. Let me explain it. Okay. I'm screen sharing and
I don't see it. I just see the ladies and you.
It's coming up right here. Okay, it is you. It is a screenshot of Pow's live, and you are in the comments. It says BBW Glory Fox, and you circled it for me. It says, I think you all are doing this for clout. Just saying. So you're basically in the chat. You stumbled across a slander live where they were talking shit about me, and as a result of that, you went in the comments and you said, hey, I think you're all doing this for clout, just saying. And I want to play for the audience the receipt, the reaction of Pau to that, to your comment. You did not say anything else. You did not invalidate her. You did not say, hey, I'm Team Stefan. You did not say Paradise is innocent or anything. You did not speak against her. The only thing that you did is you said, you think it comes across like her shit talking with Ivy and Cece and Jordan and Esme and Peachy and Sakina on the panel. It comes across like cloud chasing. And now I'm going to play the screen recording that you had sent me. So give me a second here.
Listen.
Wait. Love you all. Bye.
Thank you for joining, Jessica. Jessica,
Take care, Jess.
Okay, while we're
I-
waiting, it just goes to
listen.
further prove that I don't have a dog in this fight.
I-
This is the kind of person I am.
No, I'm
like I said earlier, I go off of what I know and what I see.
Let me start with that.
And
Glory Fox.
like I told you guys, ask follow-up
This
questions.
is the thing.
If I'm
I
gonna
see
ask
you
something,
on
it's like you
social
said,
media constantly doing
and
things
you'll
that are, like,
see
funny
it.
and
I
everything.
wasn't
Hold on.
standing up for
Hold on, the
Paradise,
video
but
is
I
playing.
This to like get some kind of like reaction and all that. But I have no respect for what you're doing right now. You are supposed to be in an industry that we care about other people and other performers. We care about consent. We have those conversations before we work with people and all that. I'm remembering this because in the BBW industry, I will let everybody know that you're a person that should never be trusted on a set. And I will tell you that as the director of BBW Adventures. I'm putting my name fucking out there with that. That is disgusting what you're doing right now.
Okay, so she basically put out the name of the company that she's producing for. She's basically calling you out, saying like the fact that you clocked the basic fact that what she's doing is for attention and for clout, and she blackballed you and said like, as a result of this, I'm going to make sure that nobody's going to want to film with you. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to ruin your life just because you said something that is so fucking obviously clear.
honey, when your wallet matches mine, then you try blackballing me and ruining my life. That comment gives you live on a main street energy. That comment gives that you wipe back to front. Your feet, your shoes are not as big as mine.
He went back to front.
Like a real talk. I don't need to sit here and pump myself up and who I am. Okay. Like I said, you can Google me, you can see me. I'm famous, bitch. And good luck with that. Like, good luck with that. Because there's a lot of new companies who, if I had put it out there, would jump at the opportunity to be able to say my name with their products. So, and that's cool, Miss. I don't know how many followers she has on Instagram. It's like what, 20, 30,000 maybe at that. And I've got 204,000. That's just on my Insta. And on my YouTube channel, I have over 15,000. On my TikTok, I have, I think, a little over 100,000. So please come for me, girl. I dare you.
It's very telling. Somebody said like, Stefan, why are you always so wrapped up in women drama? And why am I? Because I live here. Because I allowed people like Pau, for example, to come here and hang out and be part of Paradise, right? And there are people that came here and used Paradise and had fun at Paradise, and they stayed at Paradise voluntarily, kept coming back because it was so much fun. And they are now seen all over the internet, like talking all sorts of crazy shit and like quite literally threatening
Non-stop. You're
people.
literally minding your own business, and they're having non-stop several times a day, sometimes all day long, TikTok lives talking shit about you before the documentary, during the documentary, and after. Like they can't keep your name out of their mouth. It's insane. That's crazy work.
The documentary itself, like I have to reiterate that I said this before. Sadly, everybody that's been shown in this documentary, and that goes for both sides, apparently has been promised something else. Our side was promised a positive, uplifting, a body positive, story of paradise. The history, the past and present of paradise, the people of paradise. What we do to have fun. The idea to go to the Heart Attack Girl was the production company. They literally came to us and say, "Hey guys, do you want to go to the Heart Attack Girl? We got a filming permit for there." And we said, "Yeah, sure, why not?" Audrey took the sign to Fremont Street, wear the damn bikini, or fat, yes, but ugly never, because she kind of already smelled that there something was fishy. Why would they take us to the Heart Attack Girl out of all places? But we still did it because Heart Attack Girl was always fun. They filmed here at the house. They filmed tons of interviews. At the end of the day, they skipped whole interviews. Rita wasn't even seen in there. Audrey's interview was reduced to 10 seconds. My own screen time was 10% of what they recorded with me. The evidence that I was able to show on the documentary was about 1% of what I actually gave them. So we were all promised
They're so
something different.
shiesty with that end bit. They're really
Yes,
shiesty with that end bit.
and then the whole open mic situation kind of makes me wonder, hold on.
That
They
was
literally just
shiesty.
wanted controversy. They wanted people to walk away from that with more questions than answers. And apparently, I found out recently that the producers promised the other side a hit piece. They promised them that they're gonna produce this documentary that's finally gonna get me to jail or something, right? Where they can talk all their shit and bring all the allegations with no proof, of course. And as a result of that, put a hit piece out there on me on a big channel. ID Network. Nobody knew that was going to be on ID channel. I mean, maybe they knew, but we didn't. We didn't know the title. We didn't know it was going to be called fucking Escaping Paradise. We didn't know it was going to be produced or shown on a crime network channel. We had no idea. By the time we finally found out was the day the trailer dropped. The whole time we thought it was going to be HBO Max and it was going to be some kind of Real Housewives of Paradise. Something funny. Hey, let's be plus size and happy, or wear your damn bikini. Be confident, wear the bikini, that kind of stuff. And then they made that out of it and created more controversy than it solved anything. So there are people now walking away from this documentary thinking paradise is a fucking terrible place. And there are people walking away from this documentary saying oh my fucking God, those were grown-up adults. They came there, they went there voluntarily, they enjoyed it, they benefited from it. And now 4 years later, they're bitching about it because we were talking about this earlier in the pre-brief, in the talk. You watch the documentary, the fact that they are complaining and bitching and whining about he's expecting you to cook and clean and procure groceries and everything is
That's
a team
wild.
effort. And I'm okay, Glory, what was your take when you said your sister when you watched it?
That was crazy. It's crazy because I don't know about anybody else, but if you're living in my house and I'm not charging you rent and you're doing content creation or just, partying, having a good time, enjoying the vibe, whatever it is, if you're living in my house or staying in my house, yeah, I'm going to expect you to pitch in for food and help clean. There's a lot of people in that house, and Stefan, your house is beautiful and it's huge. So yeah, the least they can do if they're not paying rent is pitch in for the cooking and the cleaning. That's the right thing to do. There are people who think that was not okay, that you're forcing them to do this. Your mamas should be slapped because your mama and daddy should have taught you manners, which is if you're going to go to someone's house, if you're going to be a guest in someone's house, you should show a gesture of appreciation. Stefan, you did not ask them for money. So a gesture of appreciation that's fitting is, hey, could you buy some food for the house? Could you cook? Could you help clean a little bit? I think you said you have a cleaner that comes and helps once every
Cleaning
couple of
ladies,
weeks or
yes.
whatever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but that house is huge, and when you have as much foot traffic as you do, Stefan, it makes sense to have people help pitch in because it's cheaper than having your cleaning lady come more often to clean. So I thought that was really asinine that people were taking that and acting like you were enslaving these women. Get get out of my face, out of my face. Like
Yeah,
that
there was
is
definitely
insane
there
to
was
me.
things there were things that
The,
were
the
they were like they were trying to desperately make it look bad when it was just like something that should be like completely normal, like should
yeah,
be
the
completely.
heart attack grill. So my input on the heart attack grill, and I say this with a laugh, and because we talked about, so you know where I'm coming from with this, is that I've never seen you force feed anybody or tell these girls on live like you need to eat this. No, they're feeding you. And if I had 6 supersized BBWs in my house, women with big appetites, look at this economy. Groceries are expensive. You found, in my opinion, an economic way to not only have a good time, but get your women fed. In Heart Attack Grill, if y'all don't know, the gimmick is if you weigh over 350, your food is free. So yeah,
Right.
like
It was
good
more of
for
a
you.
show.
That's
It was more of a
yeah,
show anyway. The heart attack girl was
yeah,
never about anybody gaining weight or anybody stuffing themselves or whatever.
no.
It was a freak show. Sadly, it's closed now, so now nobody can say that anymore. Like, for financial
Yeah,
reasons, the heart attack girl closed. But like the
but
fact
I
that
thought that was
all
it.
of the women could step on that scale outside, especially like, and it's like it was a spectacle. That's what it was.
Yeah, I just thought that was economic genius, to be real. In this economy, groceries are expensive, y'all. Like, let's be real here. And I didn't see it as the entertainment value. I saw it as you were being economical and making sure
Well, I
everyone's
mean,
happy and taken
w-
care of.
to
So,
to
and
be
you're
to,
not
to
hurting
be
for
totally
money, but
honest, the times that we did go to the heart attack girl, we did it for the fun and the content. Because we did go live at the heart attack girl for the spectacle. It
why
wasn't
not?
even
It's fun.
economical. It wasn't even. There was no thought about money. There was no thought about weight gain. There was no like sexual gratification about the heart attack girl. It was
Yeah,
literally just like, hey.
it's not like you're beating it under the table while they were eating.
Yeah, I know, right? They made it
Like,
sound
being
like even
so
here at
brief
the house
about it.
that like the women like sit down at the table for family dinner, and I'm sitting there like sweating because because I'm like it turned on in some way. Like I'm absolutely not. Like actually, it's kind of counterproductive for me because I always say like I'm an FA, like I'm an admirer. Like I like
Yeah.
my girls chunky, I like them round, all this kind of stuff, right? And then I like them round, I like them chunky. And then all of a sudden, there's accusations there that like I get sexual gratification about watching a girl eat. No, that's not even the case. Like
I feel like
I
people
like
were grabbing at straws with that one. They like
the
the
whole
house chores and that they were grabbing at straws. That those were far stretches to try to prove a point. And
the
it's
dinners
stupid. It
are
is so
literally family
stupid.
dinners. That's what it was. It was family dinners. Like, the girls take turns. One day Audrey will cook dinner, one day Rissa will cook dinner. And let me tell you guys, Rissa actually eats like a sick bird. She doesn't even eat that much. So like all the time, like people judging and people coming on their live and like hating whatever and say like, oh girl, you don't need that food. Like you don't know shit. Every human, every animal, every mammal has to eat. And eating here has always just been like a group act. Like I don't know what you can call it. Like almost like family dinner with your chosen family. Like we all like to sit
Yeah.
down at the
We
table
all
and
yeah.
eat.
What makes it any different between you and the girls and like the rest of us who sit down, eat dinner with our families? What like make me understand what's the difference? Why is it wrong for him, but it's okay for the rest of us to sit down and trust me, there's a lot of people, including myself, that's not sitting there, eating like birds at dinner. Let's be real here. There's a lot of people who indulge in lots of foods or overcook or go to restaurants and order all sorts of food and mukbang. So what's the difference between you doing that with your family and eating like a pig, and gorging yourself and doing all this, and you sitting down and having dinner with your chosen family? Like what makes it
I can
okay
tell
for
you.
other people but not you? That
I
you
can tell
know
you what the difference is. I can tell you exactly what the difference is. The difference is that one of those cases, it's me. And according to Pau, again, to bring her back up one more time, this morning, like I don't know, 5-6 hours ago, she was on live claiming that I'm the problem. Everything I do is the problem. Like, I am the problem why girls are fighting. I'm the problem, whatever. Like, insert anything in that blank and I'm the
yeah.
problem. So obviously these women that went on the documentary thinking that they can now publicly cancel me were trying to pull, like you said, they were trying to pull at straws to come up with anything that they could possibly throw at me, including fabricating things that, like, the whole thing about the feederism, completely fabricated. The whole thing about like, Cass passing away from feederism. Yeah, no shit. They left out the most vital part, that she was dating a feeder boyfriend for 2 years before she passed away. Like, after she left the house, she was gone for 2 years and doing her own thing. And very, very tragically, very sadly, like, she ended up passing away in New Orleans on a road trip with her boyfriend. Like, and people pointing the fingers at me because, oh, Stefan is a problem. Yeah, no. Yeah, she was connected to me at some point, at like 2 years before. But the grasping at straws is like, oh yeah, Stefan has to have something to do with it, right? And they completely
they
forgot.
really crucified you. They really crucified you, and it's crazy because just seeing all the events that we'll talk about between when I met you to now. I said it to you, and I'm going to say it for the chat for everyone to hear out of my mouth. I give you so much respect because, I mean, it's been a witch hunt, and people have crucified you all day, every day since that promo for that documentary dropped. And you have held so much decorum. You've held yourself in a way you've never once called, you gone on live and be like, you're a bitch and da da da. No, you have been very respectful. You've taken more licks than you deserve. And you've kept your composure. And then you come with nothing but receipts. Nothing, whether it's the security camera footage, so, the lives, everything. You've come with so many receipts to back yourself up, back you up. And you've got this grotesque behavior from these women who are also part of this whole Jack Kelly thing. I know we'll get to that chat, but like, especially the live the other day that you did with Darren, that really just solidified how ugly these people are. And it's, you are not the problem, they are the problem. Between facilitating Jack and Sakina's relationship to, hate mongering you on TikTok live, making these things up. And like I said, Pal can come for me. I don't care. She's hilarious with this. I'm gonna make sure no one works with you. Good luck. I don't really fucking care. I do very well. And it's just grotesque behavior, pal. It really is. And if you saw in the thing, it's not every time I've gone into those lives, those girls hater lives in the middle of the night, or even sometimes during the day, I don't come in talking shit. I really don't. I try to be respectful. But like I told everyone here, I would maybe it's my tism, but like I ask follow-up questions. I ask the questions that people or won't ask. They just focus on the things. And I'm like, and I asked Pat, what was crazy is when I was asking these questions, I can't believe I forgot to say this earlier. When I asked these questions in her live and Peachy's live and Piggy's live, I had said, I would ask them, like, what are you trying to get out of this? What are you gaining out of this? What is your end goal? Like, what are you trying to do? And I don't think that's an offensive question. You are spending so much energy and time crucifying Stefan. So, like, what are you hoping to get out of this? And I think that's a fair question. And they were ignoring my questions. It wasn't until I had made that one comment that Pal and all of them all of a sudden perked their ears up. And like you said, and you saw, I wasn't defending Paradise. But I was just like, yeah, you're looking for clout. Because she even said she's a social media manager. And anyone who is in content creation knows, that if you're an independent person or if you're working for a small company like she does, you're doing whatever you can to get the clicks and the views. And it was just giving like, oh, you're not getting clicks and views. It's slow season
not
for
enough.
you.
Not enough.
Yeah. So what are you gonna do? Oh, that's right. You're gonna make up lies and accusations and approach a documentary to come after someone who's literally just living his life, minding his own business, and trying to put positivity in the plus size community, and Stefan, I've told you in private and I'll say it in the chat, I don't agree with your lifestyle. Like I don't agree with it, but you know what, do you, boo, do you, because it's not hurting me, it's not affecting my life in any way, shape, or form. As long as you're not hurting children, you're not hurting the old people, and you're not hurting animals, do you and have fun. You're not hurting anybody. So, and you said it right. We can all agree to disagree. We can all not have the same opinions and still coexist harmoniously. I consider you guys friends. Like I said, I may not be poly, and I know you're not into the feederism thing, but even if you were, like, cool, good for you. I would never judge you for it because it doesn't affect my life. So, for these women to just come after you and act like you are doing the worst is wild. So I really truly believe that she's having a slow season, if not a slow year. And it has to be a year because the documentary was started a year ago of the filming, and
Yeah,
all the
mid
women,
last year.
like,
Like the major
yeah, like
the major
Piggy,
filming was
like,
mid last year.
Piggy and her our fantasies were clearly not panning out on FetLife. So she had to find a platform to gain some attention because she's never been to your house. She's never met you, but she decided that one day she's going to pick up her phone and put on TikTok live and scream at the camera at all of us like, dude, stop screaming. Calm down. Calm your tits. And scream about how much of a piece of shit you are. And all these girls are following suit. So I firmly believe it is for clout. It is for clout. And
I
it's
mean,
it's not because they care about SA victims. It's not because they care about these women that claim that they're victims. I can't use that word because with all this, they're not victims. And when I say that, y'all, I'm not saying I condone R. I don't. As a matter of fact, I am an SA survivor. I've been held down and SA'd multiple times. So I'm disgusted when someone says, "Oh, Stefan smacked me on the ass. I was sexually assaulted." Like, that's a slap in the face to women like me and men, because that happens to men too, who have been genuinely SA'd. And you're sitting here like, oh, especially, and Stefan, you said it right. Now, if she was in a bar, if you guys were in a bar or out, something like that, and yeah, okay, that's valid. Sexual harassment, whatever, but that wasn't her case. She was at your house. The footage is shown on the documentary. Y'all were playing a game of slap. You all were slapping ass. She was going around
oh
slapping
yeah.
asses. And when you went and put your hand on her, all of a sudden it's per se. Now, Rosie, just like Jack, you are entitled to feel the way that you feel. Okay. If you felt violated, that's valid. That is how you feel. No one's taking that away from you. Do not go running around and calling that SA, because you've got people like me who are genuine, real victims. If you're sitting there tore up over an ass smack, you would not survive a day in my shoes. I couldn't
Yeah,
imagine
and
how you would have reacted if you went through what I went through.
the part, like that part, like in the documentary, is like, for everybody watching it, for everybody who has watched it, the feedback I've been getting in that regard is like literally 99% of people could see through that. They saw, like, they
It's
came there,
offensive.
they stayed there, they voluntarily, like, they almost, like, contradicted themselves, and then
Mhm.
they
They
left, and
did.
now they're claiming that and I find, like, that scene very offensive, where they have Savi in front of the camera and they say, hey, like, now, knowing now what like, hindsight or whatever, would you go back on it? And she says, fuck no. Like, she doubled
Yeah.
down on it and say, like, I'm going to continue calling this SA.
Yeah.
But, like, everybody that's
That's
seen the
wild.
documentary and everybody that's
That's
seen
wild because
back in the day,
there's
the,
people
the
who have been SA'd who are true
yeah.
survivors. And because I won't say victim, I think that's an ugly word. I'd rather say a survivor, because you're here with us. You've made it through it. You've survived. You've moved on. You've grown. So I like to say that we're survivors, not victims. I feel like a victim is someone who just lays
but
down and gives
but they
up.
call, like,
And
that's the thing. In the documentary, Savi calls herself a survivor of paradise.
like that, and it's like, what is there to survive? Like, I would love to spend a weekend at your house and party with all you guys. Now, am I going to get
I
naked in
know
your
it.
pool? Probably
And
not. But like, I would love to party with you guys. And I don't see what there is like to survive from there, except for maybe like getting slapped by someone's like random boob or something because they decide they want to freestyle in a freaking pool.
Yeah,
And even then I'd laugh about it,
you gotta be
But
you gotta be you gotta be
the chances are my
particularly.
boob would probably fall out and hit somebody, and I'd be laughing about it. Like it is what it is. There's
I
nothing
was
to
gonna say
survive from your house, Stefan.
you're gonna have to be particularly careful around Sumi because she got some knockers,
We can bump boobies in the pool.
and
Like that's how we're
speaking
gonna
of
greet each other. Is it booby
yeah,
bump?
like the booby bump. Sumi,
The
did
booby bump.
you
I'm gonna come up to your house and just booby bump all the ladies. Like, hi.
Sumi, did you still have like any questions queued up? Like I think we went over the entire list that's in the host chat.
Um, yes, just some context because it seems like some of the viewers are a little bit confused about the timeline. How long have you known Jack for?
I met Jack when he touched down in Vegas, but we have been friends online for 2 years. So the entirety that he was with Shay, and then a year before that. I remember I'd seen him on Instagram and he was trying to come out for the bash and he had said like, hey, I want to try to come out to the bash this year. And he said something and I started flirting with him. I was really trying to get him to come to my OF. And yeah, he's cute. He's cute. Except for that stupid face he makes with his eyebrows. Like, dude, that's not cute. Just stop. But other than that, he's a cutie. I'm not gonna deny that. He's a little cutie and the accent, it works, right? So I was like flirting with him, trying to get him to like come over to my OF and get that bag. But we had talked and got to know each other, and we got close. Not we weren't sexy or anything like that, but like he would tell me, we would laugh about our accents and send each other audio files, like voice notes, and I would laugh at his accent. He would laugh at mine, and stuff like that. And then there's days when he would be so depressed because I battle with depression as well, and we would bond over that and try to be there for each other. And then so that was that. And then he got with Shay and I was all for it. I was like, heck yeah, like good
Yeah,
for
same
you.
here.
So I mean,
I was
he made
I
it
was
he made it to
I was
Vegas. I didn't know he was with Sakina. He never told me he was with Sakina during all that. I had no idea. I didn't know about
that's
him and Sakina.
in
I
2025,
didn't
right? Last year.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know
I
about him and Sakina until I'd seen that live a few weeks ago. And she was like, yeah, Jack and I, met at the bash and then we broke up a few days later because, he wants to be poly, I want to be monogamous. And I was like,
Oh no, that was well known.
okay.
Like here, Sakina. There's a couple of stories. I think it would best be for Audrey if she's on, like, to tell that little part of the story. At the bash last year, the girls kind of like bullied Audrey for being, connected with Shay, and like the bash, there was like some mean girling at the bash towards Audrey, and I heard obviously I got the whole tea served when Shay was here at the house. I heard all about the whole situation, like Sakina remote dating Jack Kelly and basically wanting to be monogamous before even having seen him in person and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, Audrey, maybe you can chime in really quick, tell your experience at the bash 2025 with Sakina.
Well, I don't know why you keep, because then you get like it mixed up. Like Sakina and them never did anything to me last year. We were
Was it
friendly.
K-Bear? Who
Like,
who
yeah, that was
sabotaged you
like
at the bash?
K-Bear.
Oh, then where was the whole thing with Sakina coming from? With the
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. So Sakina like has been talking shit about me for what reason? I have no fucking clue. As maybe she's bored. I don't know. Like, I mean, that she obviously is, because like, what the hell's going on? She got some information from someone else, knew it was about me, but talked about it online, knowing that I would know it was about me, even though she doesn't know the whole fucking story. She's just talking shit, saying stuff, basically saying that I sell my pussy on Fremont Street for $400. That's what she said about me,
Oh
and
yeah,
it was
right.
because it was like, huh?
Right, I remember that. Like she started like putting allegations out there against you, like and
Yeah.
He's
then
just
the
mad that homegirl was making the money that she wasn't.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
She's
Even if
Audrey, you're
I
a little cutie.
thank
If
you.
you were, if you were like that bitch was just mad because you were making the money that she wasn't.
Well, what I'm
Really
saying is
quick.
that I don't shame sex workers for any type of extreme. From if you're posting little bikini photos to doing full on porn, escorting, whatever you want to do, I support because I've been through a lot in my life. I know that there's things that you have to do to get where you need to be sometimes, and not everyone has the privileges that other people have. You know what I mean? So I'm never
Yeah.
gonna judge someone's story. A
That.
lot of I worked in a strip club for a very short amount of time doing makeup, and every girl there was in college. They all wanted to do stuff with their lives. Like that's where I really didn't judge people because the people I met there were like the best people I've ever met in my life. Like and I was only there for like 2 or 3 months, and I met some of the best people ever there. And like they all had like goals and like wanted to be something. Someone was gonna be a doctor. Like they're just trying to fucking pay their bills. You know what I mean? Like especially in this day and age, like who are you at your old ass age? Like you're way older than me and you're gonna be talking to about me about a rumor that you don't even know if it's true, which I'm not denying or not because I don't give a fuck, and I think that shames other women who do that. Me being like, ew, that's disgusting. No, because I don't think it's disgusting. I don't give you're fucking people for free all the time. And I'm celibate. I'm not fucking anyone. I haven't had
That.
sex in months. In months.
That.
But you're talking about me acting like I'm like, what are we talking about right now? Like you're fucking everyone and everything for free, and you're mad at a girl for fucking someone for money? Like, and then for try to pay her parents' rent and pay her, like, what?
Yes.
Like, why are we
Yes.
shaming people for anything that they're doing? And it's just like, I really don't understand that. So, like, I was never involved with Sakina. Like, I never said a fucking thing about that weirdo. Now I'm going to. You're telling me that I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you now because Audrey will talk. Audrey stays silent. Audrey stays cute until she's fucking summoned. Because once I'm summoned, I don't fucking go back. Because I have this line and these bitches keep crossing it. And I'm kind of done, okay? So when you talk about me, when you have no idea who I am, you know I was only nice to you in that fucking during the bash times. Me and you had a great time together. Nothing ever happened. So for you to have this opinion on me and to talk shit about me because you don't like my friend is very high school, middle school behavior. At how old are you again? In her 40s or something, even maybe more. I don't
Think
know.
pussy energy all day, every day.
It's
What's
like
that?
Audrey was literally getting attacked only because, or she's being shit talked only because of the sole reason, the only reason. Like Audrey never talks shit about anybody. Audrey never attacks anybody. Audrey never bullies or harasses anybody. She never down talks anybody. She's just staying in her lane, being beautiful, right? But the way that these women work is literally just a pack and a gang mentality. Audrey needs to be attacked and harassed only because she is cool with me, only because she's still part of paradise and she stands up 10
And I
toes.
stand up for him like how they fucking should have because they know who he is. So it's like, who am I as a woman to be at this man's house, been here the whole time knowing exactly who he is, and then flip on him because I want to make sure my name is safe. That's why all these girls, why they left, is because they didn't want to ruin their names. Babe, your nasty ass behavior, your nasty ass soul is ruining your name. Not a man that you used and lived with on for free. He isn't not ruining shit. You being friends with him doesn't do shit. Your own behavior. What? I missed it. What happened?
It's Audrey against the Mean Girls, round one.
Because like no, but like seriously, like a pretty face is nothing with an ugly ass inside. So a lot of money is nothing without a fucking good person. Like nothing matters as if you're not a good person. In this lifetime,
Exactly.
no one
Thank
can tell
king
me shit. There's
energy.
no skeletons. There's no skeletons in my closet that I'm fucking scared to come out because have I done shit? Have I been a bitch? Yes, yes, and yes. But there's nothing that I'm like, if this gets out, I'm gonna be fucked. You all have shit like that because you guys are fucked. You guys are actually fucked up. You guys are actually like inside your soul is not something's not correct. Okay, Audrey's a good person, and no one can take that shit away from me. I have done shit. I've talked shit before. Whatever I do, I fuck up sometimes. I own up to that shit like nobody else. And especially in this house, everyone can tell me. No one can tell me that I haven't owned up to my stuff. That when someone confronts me about something, I completely apologize. I am very forgiving, extremely forgiving, too forgiving, and I forgive these nasty bitches over and over again. And now like the line is crossed and I'm fucking done. So, and Sakina, you need to shut the fuck up, leave my name out of your fucking mouth. And if you're not saying my name, but you know it's about me because those little fucking bitches are telling you who it is, obviously, because they're not going to tell you the story and be like, oh, I didn't. No, they know who it is. You know who it is. And you're saying that shit just to get under my skin. And it's not working. You're under my skin because I can't believe and I can't fathom that a mother, a woman, a person of your age is treating others like this. That's what gets under my skin, not the fact that you're trying to offend me. Don't think that you're bothering me. What bothers me is that there's people like you out there. So fuck you.
And I'm going to say this. And I'm going to say this for Miss Audrey. You know what, girl? You come for Audrey. Y'all come for me because of what I said about Jack and my experience. There's people in this panel. I don't think Audrey was there when I was talking about what had happened that I won't speak on. Come for me. All you, Jack Kelly and all your people, come for me because I'm showing class, decorum, being demure, not dishing the details that I dished in private to these people. Come for me because I have no problem putting out those details that I have kept off of here when I was asked earlier about when I took Jack.
Exactly.
So you want to come for my people? You want to come for my girls? And you want to come for me? You want to come for Stefan and all them? Come, because I will dish out. I will dish out what I was trying to show class about. And I promise you, and these women can back me up on it, you're not gonna like what I had to say and what happened. That you're not gonna like it. It's pretty foul. And it does paint Stefan in a much better light. Let's just put it that way. It really shows who's in the wrong and who's in the right. So come for my girl Audrey. Come for Sumi. Come for Kay. Come for them. Come for me. I talk back. I talk back, and I have no problem dishing. I'm gonna hold on to it until y'all come for us. And then I will put that out there, and you're not gonna like it, and Jack is definitely not gonna like it.
It's the double standards. Like it literally pisses me the fuck off because the person that told them about me doing that stuff, literally I drove them to go do sexual stuff for money. I drove her to go give sexual favors to someone for money. Was I judging her? I said, go get your bag. Get your bag, do the thing. Like, because I'm a fucking supportive girl, all right? Like, I love women. I don't give a fuck what you're doing. I don't care if you want to get shit on for money. Is that weird to me? Yes. Do I judge you for it? Absolutely fucking not. Because who am I to judge you? I don't judge people. I think weirdos judge people. I think people who have no lives judge people. I think people who like want to be other people judge people. Like if you are like that, I don't want to be near you. I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want none of that. Like if you can't breathe around a person without someone being like, why are you breathing like that? Like shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Go get a life. Like seriously. And then the girl who has been texting Stefan, I'm not gonna name names. You need to stop as well because that's fucking ridiculous. You're so in the wrong, and there's nothing you can say about anyone here. Like, no one treated you badly, so you need to stop. And I only mentioned your name because it got brought up. But you know you're in the wrong. You're so in the wrong. Everyone's in the wrong.
And one thing I will say about Rosie, because I don't know Rosie and I haven't interacted with her. Is that I will say this, and it was comforting that when Darren had his live the other night and he was talking about Jack Kelly, I decided to chime in and be like, yeah, I had seen on a live what Kino saying about Stefan and Jack, and Darren was like, do you want to come and box? I was like, no, because like people will come into your chat that have no business. So but Rosie had popped in and was there, and she actually validated with us. She goes, yeah, I had seen that live as well. So for those of you who are like, oh, well, Glory saw this, I wasn't the only one who had witnessed Layla Plus's TikTok live. And Sakina was in a box. Her face, she didn't have a little picture in her place. No, her face. You see her lips moving and everything. Calling both Stefan and Jack predators. So Rosie did validate that and say that she saw it too. So I'm sure there's plenty of other people because there wasn't a whole lot of people, if I remember correctly.
Who sent me this earlier? Who sent me that? I saw the screenshots.
I didn't send it to you because I couldn't find it. I told you about it, but I don't know who sent it to you. That wasn't
Oh,
me.
I sent the screenshots on
I'm
Instagram.
mad.
They were
on
documented.
Instagram. Okay, hold on.
So it was nice that Rosie, despite the fact that she's like the main face of that documentary next to Pow, be like the privacy of pie. I will give her credit that she validated what I had said, what I had seen. So for all her questioning, there's people who've seen it. They've seen it and said, yeah, I saw it too. And I just, all those mean girls, you're so wrong. And you talk about you got this butter tattoo for Shay. Where? Because I know, and I know plenty of people, when we get new tattoos, we show it off ASAP. I've not seen, and I've stalked your guys' pages when all this stuff has started coming up. I was piecing two and two together. I've not seen a butter tattoo out of any of you guys. I think you're a bunch of fucking liars. And one thing my sister had brought up when we were talking about Jack that really struck a chord with me, on top of Darren saying that Jack can't even spell Shay's name right, was that Jack, claims that when Shay had died, he was in a depressive mode, couldn't get out of bed, couldn't shower, couldn't eat, do all this stuff. But yet here he is on, his socials, taking pictures of him on his flight, taking pictures, taking video, and he didn't look pretty broken up. I'm sorry, if I had lost my fiance, the love of my life, when the trip was originally supposed to be for me to go and propose to the love of my life, has now turned into a trip that is going to the love of my life's funeral. The last fucking thing I'm going to do is sit there and take pictures and videos of me on my flight and my adventures to my flights all the way up until I landed in Vegas. I can't believe I had missed all that. And she clocked that. And I was like, you're right. Because
I
if
just showed the
if you're in so
screenshot.
much grief, if you're in
I just
grief,
I just showed the
like,
screenshot of that, which is funny. That like Rosie out of all people.
yeah. If I'm not saying, like I said earlier, I don't expect you to slit your wrist and cry and make a whole art exhibit out of your grief and put on a show. No one's saying that. I'm just saying that, like, if you're really that upset and you're that broken up that your trip that was supposed to be a marriage proposal is now turning into a funeral trip, the farthest thing from my mind is to take pictures and videos documenting my trip, from the Isle of Man down to when I touched down in Vegas. That just further proves that he didn't love Shay as much as Shay loved him. I think he's there for clout. He loves the attention, and I know he loves the attention. I could pull it up on my phone right here, his Facebook, and all the woe is me, the pity posts. Like, be so for real right now, Jack Kelly. You had me drinking that tea for a minute, and I felt bad for you. But like I said, when the snowball effect from when I picked you up from Stefan's house, snowballing into you, like, not being honest with me and playing me like I'm stupid, playing in my face, to this and Sakina's behaviors and Sakina's actions and the Mean Girls actions. You ain't fooling no one. You wanted clout. You wanted attention. You wanted a green card. Like, you didn't love Shay as much as Shay loved you. And you
Really
know
quick.
what? I think. Oh, sorry.
Really quick, Yasumi.
Just fact checking real fast. There is a tattoo, like a memorial tattoo. Like, I know I've seen it before. It's like on their hand. It's a butter and it has her name underneath it. The chat is informing me that Jordan is the
She
one
does
with
have
the
that
tattoo.
tattoo.
I don't know her, but I do know that the tattoo does exist. I don't know about the other girls. I don't have enough information about that, but I do know the tattoo exists.
And I
At
also do
least
want to
one,
say,
Jordan.
did you see in the live
But like,
chat
and
that Jordan was in the waiting area?
The other thing my sister and I had brought up was, and before I go into this, I will give Jack this, is that Jack did say stuff on that he was very appreciative of you welcoming him into your home. You didn't ask for any money. You offered him to stay so he didn't have to get a hotel and all that. And he was really appreciative of that. You never asked for a single thing from him. So thank you, Jack, for at least having decency with that, like giving credit where credit is due. And I just totally lost my train of thought.
I needed to ask Sumi something. A while ago, she said there was somebody in the waiting area who was trying to come up.
It was Jordan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was there. She's not there currently.
Audrey,
So,
Audrey, I
but
heard you through the. You're muted, or like you were muted. I heard you screaming over there. What were we trying to say, Audrey?
Nothing. I just said, oh God.
Okay, I heard that. Yeah.
it's
Bring
just
her up.
he's a clout chaser. He wants people to feel sorry for him, you know. And I know some people are like, "Oh, well, where is he staying?" He's staying with Tiffany, and that's fine. You know, I didn't see a problem with that. He said that they've been friends for a long time, and that was really
Oh, with
sweet of her
Tiffany,
to
yeah.
come home to him. Yeah.
I don't see any
So
issues at all with Tiffany.
yeah. So people who are trying to make something out of that don't like, and so
No,
I'll give
Tiffany's so
Jack credit
nice.
there. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying is like I give Jack credit there, and people shouldn't come for him for staying at Tiffany's house. But it's just the jumping. He does not look sad one bit here. And I'm not saying again he needs to cry, but just he's having the time of his life here. And
I
it's just a
mean,
little wild.
I've seen some posts, and like I said, as a guy, this is the one thing where I can relate, or where I can, like, say like, oh, like I can only try to empathize, like, with the situation. And I know how I felt when Cass passed, like, but then again, I wasn't in a relationship with her anymore. It's kind of like, honestly, like, I have to say, it's like I wouldn't know where up and down is. I wouldn't know, like, what to do. Like, and he told me when he was here at the house, he told me that he also couldn't change the ticket. Shay bought the ticket from
Mhm.
the GoFundMe money that they had ran a GoFundMe campaign. They did whatever it was. They got enough money, and Shay booked the ticket for him. She passed away. He didn't have access to the account, so he only had two choices, like, basically waste the ticket or use the ticket. And he made the
And
choice to
see,
come to the States and use it
and when
and
I
come here.
talked to him about that, he said he's like, yeah. So I came out here, and Shay would want me to come out here and enjoy my time out here. And we all want you, Jack, to enjoy your time out here for sure. America's fucking amazing. Like, go America, fuck yeah. But
Yeah.
it's the thing is that you're doing the most. There's a difference between going to, the bars and the attractions and having fun and enjoying yourself that way, and going and fucking anyone who will sit down long enough for you to put your pee pee in them. Huge difference. Shay would not want you to come out here and enjoy yourself in the way of putting your dick in everybody. Shay would want you to come out here and enjoy the bash, have all the drinks, hang out with Tiffany, hang out with whoever. Actually, probably anyone but Shay's ops. Because that's a whole nother thing that pissed
Yeah,
me off. He's
I guess
literally hanging out with he claims he's
that's
good friends with you, but he's hanging out with your ops and Shay's ops. And I'm like, how is
yeah.
like that doesn't sit right with me. Like, and if you're gonna hang out with the ops, don't advertise it on TikTok live for the world to see. Just like your relationship with Sakina, you should have kept that private. Because no one can tell you who you should hang out and who you should hang out with. But again, it comes down to maturity and decorum. Be mindful. Like, there's times I've seen them have the big ass TikTok live where they're all in the boxes, and then he was at, I think, Jordan's house, and Jordan was there, and I don't have any beef with Jordan. I thought she was really sweet when I jumped in the live and said hi or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Like, did you have to put it on live that you were hanging out with these women who knowingly don't like Shay? Did you have to put that? Did you have to put that out in the
Like,
world online? No, you
I
didn't.
I I would have, like, a question for Shelby. When the time when you guys had, like, at the height of the Paradise Wifeys and the group chats or whatever, like, like, what do you remember of Shay, like, her plans and stuff? Like, I remember you also disconnected for a while. Like, it was always like Shay was really, like, she was making plans to move him here, right?
So when I
Jack
knew
Kelly told me that.
Shay, it was like way before Jack was even in the picture. She was still living in California at the time with her brother.
Oh, yeah, right.
And she would go visit you. It was like very like at the beginning when she barely got with Esme. It was like the Christmas when Esme went down there and spent Christmas with her and things like that. That's when we had cut off like communication. I didn't know her until like her and Jack Kelly were like together, or like not know her, but I didn't really minglize with her again until like she started getting like back, or like she was with Jack Kelly at the time. Um I remember she did do the GoFundMe like for him to go ahead and come down here and things like that. But really like when we were talking, it was just like at the beginning of when she started to go to Paradise. Um it was really
Right.
like when Angel and Xiomara were staying at your house.
Oh, like, okay, late 2024. Yeah,
Yeah.
right, okay. That's when the whole, like, wifey's thing was, like, at the height of it was the height of it. Like, you guys were literally, like, on the group chat, like, every night.
Yeah, that's
And
when yeah, it was just like a whole thing. But yeah, no, just to answer your question, I really
yeah,
didn't know about Jack Kelly. It was just at the beginning of when she was gonna move over there to your house.
yeah.
I mean,
And
he
at
can
the
do
time,
whatever he wants, but he needs to, not everything needs to be put online. Not everything
I mean,
needs to
yeah,
be put online.
that's the problem with putting things online, and I see that in myself too, you know? Everything you put online, you put out there voluntarily, and you basically give people the opportunity to judge, you know? If you
Yeah.
putting everything online like Sakina did, like you putting it everything public on a public profile and like so in people's faces, you
Yeah.
gotta expect people
I've
to react. Like you gotta expect
I've
people to
never
judge
met
you.
Sakina. I've never
Yeah.
met Sakina. And my first impression of her is what I've seen on those lives and those posts. And therefore, I can't say I don't like her because I don't know her. But the first impression I have of her is definitely not good if y'all haven't figured it out. Esme and all those girls, Pal, I've never met them. I've never talked to them outside of the, asking questions that make people think. Um, so it's hard to say like I don't like them, but the first impression you gave me, which is the stuff that you put out online, just as ugly as the impression that Sakina gave. And I don't want to say I hate people because that's such a strong, but I really do hope that maybe at some point, when y'all grow up, you can come talk to me and be like, you know what, Glory, we did put this stuff out there and, you were part of an audience, you seen it and you didn't like it and you said some harsh things and I did. I own it. And I'm not ashamed of it. I'm just like Audrey. I have cat hair. I speak what I say and how I feel. I don't hold shit back. And if they come to me and they're like, hey, you said some really rough stuff about us, you talked some shit, da 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 da. And, yeah, you did, because this is my first impression of you. But they're like, hey, I want to give you a chance to get to know me better and see that I'm not this person you think I am. I'd be open to it. But right
Yeah.
now, just the actions and first impressions I have of these people that, like, I have, no connection with. It's just ugly. And if I think that way about, what do you think other people are thinking and saying that I see that? Like, I know I'm not alone on this. I'm vocal about it. And approach Stefan for the platform to be like, yeah, this is what I've seen. This is, yeah. And I validate everything Darren was saying. I will support Darren on that one. All
I
that
was
for
gonna
sure.
say like I need to speak to Darren, like see where he's at right now. He had an 8-hour live stream the other day. Or Sumi, are you trying to say something?
Yeah, so the chat has more timeline questions. It seems like there's a little bit of confusion. Glory, when you picked Jack up, what was your intention when you picked him up shortly after he came to the States?
Just to show him a good time. Like, he had just dropped down, the documentary. Like, he literally, the news of the documentary came out while he was on that plane. Because I remember I had seen the ad for it and I was all like, oh shit. And I messaged him, I was like, do you know about this documentary? Have you seen this? There's a commercial. And so I knew he was kind of going through it. Like, people were going to start coming for him, and just instantly seeing the hate towards Stefan, and it hadn't even been 24 hours. So knowing that he was grieving over Shay, because like I said, we were friends. I knew he was grieving over Shay. I knew that he was going to be walking into like a minefield, because I knew he was going to be staying at Stefan's house. I mean, come on, let's be real here. He was walking into a pressure cooker instantly right off the plane, no fault of his own, and that's a lot to deal with, especially when you're grieving your soon-to-be fiance. So I was in California visiting my sister. Like I said, the timing kind of lined up to where I was fixing to come home. It was the day before Memorial Day that I picked him up, and my intention was just show him a good time, get him out of the pressure cooker, let him have a moment to breathe. Um, we flirted. We did flirt a lot. We did. But my intention was not what you think it is. I did not go there with that intention. Like I said, I booked a room at the Strat, which makes sense. I live in Tennessee, y'all. What am I supposed to do? Sleep in my fucking car with Jack Kelly? Like, if I'm, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to pay for hotel rooms along the stop because it's not, a straight drive. No one can drive 24 hours straight. And the drive from Bakersfield to where I live in Tennessee is a 30-hour drive. Okay. So I have to stop at places for the night to rest. And I thought, you know what? Jack Kelly is here. He's visiting, and I happen to be on this side of the United States. And you know what? One of the ways home I could take is either going through Vegas and kind of like detouring through Vegas and then going through Arizona onto the 40, or I can just go from Bakersfield on the 57 to Barstow and hit the 40 from there and go home and go through like that way where it avoids Vegas. You kind of breeze by Laughlin. So I took the opportunity because I don't know when I'm coming back to Bakersfield to visit my sister. So why not? And I don't think there's a problem with that. So yeah, I picked him up. I want to show him time, give him a moment to just breathe. He was, and I think, and maybe, and if I'm wrong, tell me in the chat. I can't see the chat, but tell me if I'm wrong for that, for, wanting to do something nice for my friend. I didn't have ulterior motives like he did. And he did. And, we flirted. We flirted. I'm not going to lie. He sent me dick pics. But you know what? That to me is water off a duck's back because you know how many dick pics I get daily from people?
I don't even want to know.
It's insane. It's insane. So, I mean, if I was a normal person, if I'm not who I am, if I was just a normal woman at the bash or off the internet, then I can understand. Yeah, he sent me a dick pic. What was my intention? What were our intentions? But that
Hold on one
wasn't my
second.
intention.
Somebody just said Darren is in the chat.
Yeah, Darren's in the chat. He's been saying a few things.
Oh God, I keep missing it. Yeah, thanks for keeping eyes on that. Like somebody just said, because I missed it.
But so anything sexual is not my intention with Jack Kelly. And I mean, I'm not going to put that out there, but if you want me to, I will. I can tell you exactly what happened, and y'all are not going to like it. You're not going to like it. So, but I'm trying to be the nice person and not put that out there. But I will if you push me. So those who are
people are obviously people are watching for a reason. People are like nosy. They want to know what the hell's going on. So obviously
it is probably good you cannot see the chat because it is a little nasty.
I mean, there's obviously as every time, like there's people hating on me in the chat. I don't care, honestly.
People hate on me. That's fine. I love being the villain.
We are here. We are here basically to tell our stories and to tell our truths, right?
Yeah, I don't mind being the villain. I try to be better than that. But if we need me, I don't mind being the villain. But yeah, that was
what? The chat is asking for Rissa. Like, where is she at? There you go, Rissa. Did you have any questions?
Where has Rissa been?
She's right there. She has her camera off right now. No, Rissa, don't get shy now. The chat wants you to talk.
Nothing to say.
Well, you had a lot to say last night at 4 a.m., but I guess that was a different topic, right?
So yeah, my intentions were to just show a friend a good time and nothing beyond that. And just be nice to him. you know, because he's going through it. What would you do if your friend was grieving? What would you do? What would you do if your friend's grieving and is about to walk into a really shitty situation? What would you do? Would you do something nice for them, or are you just gonna sit there and watch your friend suffer?
When
Real talk.
when was the last time you went to a bash, to a BBW bash? You said that was
Me?
you only went
In 2006.
Oh, you haven't gone back since then?
I haven't been to the Vegas bash since 2006. I went one time, and I went with my friend. Her name is Cheryl, but she went by Gabriella at the time, because she used to do adult stuff too, and that was her stage name. So we went one time, and that was it. Since then, I've been to Cocoa Beach Bash. I went last year and the year before that. Other than that, I've not been to any other bashes. I've been to 3 total: 1 Vegas, 2 Cocoa.
Oh, okay, Coco. I was gonna say, yeah, okay. Cocoa Beach that used to be a really good bash, like before COVID.
Oh, I love
Like
Cocoa Beach Bash.
the last 10 years before
I love
COVID.
Cocoa Beach Bash. I can tell you right now, the people at that bash don't act anywhere near as childish as these people we've been talking about act at the Vegas Bash. The drama, all this drama at this Vegas Bash, don't fly at Cocoa Beach. It is shut down instantly. Everyone's there to have a good time, to party, to be open and accepting and positive. Like Nicole, Amy, when she was running it, because Amy was running it the year I went, the first time I went, she really pushes that. Like, there is no room for drama. There's no room for, bullshit, people bullying people, like the stuff that poor Audrey's been through. That would not have flown. All those people who, if they would have done that to Audrey at Cocoa Beach, Amy would have banned them instantly, kicked them out and banned them. Like, Cocoa Beach is very strict, and Nicole Copeland has taken over, and she is just as strict, if not stricter, because these bashes, whether it's New Jersey, Vegas, what is it, Michigan, the new one in Myrtle Beach that Shine Bright's doing, the 2 Cocoa Beach, or it's Fort Lauderdale and Cocoa Beach bashes. These are supposed to be safe places for men and women, for plus size women, plus size men, and all of our admirers, and even former plus size people who decided to lose the weight. But you know what? They love the camaraderie. They made all these friends they consider family. This is supposed to be a safe place, drama free, where people can escape from their day-to-day lives and come and just let go and have fun.
That
And
was the original
it's
idea
sad
of
to
a bash, yes.
yeah, and
Yes.
it's sad that, like, and I can't speak for the other bashes because, like I said, I've only been to Cocoa and Vegas, and it's sad that Vegas has turned into that, because I know Stu personally. I've known Stu for a billion years. I've known Stu since 2006. And I've met him. He taught me how to smoke a cigar. He used to meet up with me at the karaoke bar in Anaheim with me and my friends.
So do you know
I,
all the lore about Stu?
I do not, because again, I keep to myself, and
That's
but I've seen
that's
his post. I've seen his post where he's like, people are saying, things about me, and I just like you, just like everything else, I just don't get involved because it doesn't pertain to me. You know what I'm saying? This
right.
pertains
I
to me because
know.
I know Jack, and I picked up Jack, and I had an experience with Jack, and yeah. So, and that's the difference between this and like the Stu stuff. So I can't speak on that, Stu. I mean, I'm not close to Stu anymore. Like, we stopped talking a while ago, but just because we stopped talking doesn't mean that, like, I have an issue with him. I did try to go to the Vegas Bash. It's been 2 years now. I did try when I started my OF, and I ended up not going because when I got to Arkansas, my tire blew out so bad. And it was a brand new tire. So I turned home. I was having all these issues in my car, and the tire was like the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, the universe told me,
Yes.
bitch, you don't need to be going. So I didn't go. And
The universe
no,
didn't
I'm
want
sorry.
you
No,
to
that was
go.
that
You
was
never
for
know why.
yeah, no, that was actually for a photo shoot. It was last year. I bought a bash pass for the Vegas bash because I really wanted to go. And I was having some personal problems with my son. My son was going through some very personal stuff, and I couldn't go because, I mean, these are like, he was going through some serious stuff. So, me being a mom, I'm a mom before anything else. I put my son first, and I knew the ticket was not refundable. But because I have that history with Stu, I reached out to Stu and I was like, Stu, this is what's going on with my kid. I can't make it to the bash and I really need my money back. And Stu was like, girl, no problem. And he refunded me back my money. So I
He's
did
always
try to go.
yeah. He's
I
always
did
going to be
try to
nice.
go.
He's going to be nice to women, you know. Like I don't know if you saw the post. Like he's been nothing but an asshole to me.
Yeah.
He has worse allegations than I do, and the Bash community is covering up for him, and he gets to go on his Facebook group and basically put it out there saying like, yeah, Stefan is a predator. I'm like, well, hold on, hold your horses. Like I could do a whole episode just about Stu, but like, you know, this would
Right.
definitely blow like the everything. We've been on for 2 hours already. We've been 1 hour over basically.
You can do a whole
Yeah.
documentary about
Yeah,
Stu.
yeah.
Yeah, Stu,
Uh,
I can't say he's a friend because we stopped talking a long time ago, but I don't have any qualms with him. And but you know, when I did try to go and couldn't, he was very kind. And my point is that I know that Stu and Novella have really tried to make the Excellence Plus like a safe space, just like the other bashes. And it's sad that there's people who have really tarnished the Vegas bash. And you know, if I have to put an opinion on it, maybe I wish he would do a little bit more to kind of negate that and keep that from happening. I mean, drama is going to be wherever you go, right? But you can control the amount of drama, right?
Yeah,
And
to some extent. To some
and it
extent.
seems like it seems like he's not trying. And so all this drama, the mean girls, the huge clique, them calling Audrey a 304, like all these things, the things with Shay, the Sakina, all this stuff, you know, it's his bash. He could put his foot down and be like, if y'all don't knock this out, like knock it off and grow up and, you know, stop bringing your drama and BS to this bash, like I'm going to kick you the fuck out. Because like I said, Amy Bear did not put up with any of that. Because everyone pays a lot of money to attend these things and leave their families and travel and do all this stuff. And Nicole has been even stricter about it, and I give them mad props for that. They have made Cocoa Beach, you know, and Fort Lauderdale, the Curvy Ventures, like safe spaces, really, so they don't tolerate the drama. And if there is any drama, it's behind closed doors and no one knows about it. It's very well
I mean,
hidden.
this is obviously like my personal opinion and my personal experience. Like, now that most of the bash organizers, including Curvy and Stu, they all ganged up on me because of Stu's post. Like, you know, again, you know, my personal experience is like a completely different, like wildly different. I love the bashes at the time when before COVID, the bashes were a blast. Now it's like
Mhm.
it's a pack of women like running that, and basically they get to extort the bash organizers with some bullshit and then put the bash organizers in corners. And as a result, I am supposedly not allowed to go because, you know, I'm such a terrible person, right? And meanwhile,
Mhm.
I get the stories, hot tea, brought to me, like, you know, how people get assaulted at the bash and nothing is being done about it.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
I'm also like, we need to basically get off, basically, so wind down. So I was gonna hand the microphone back over to Sumi really quick if you had like any closing questions that have been unanswered. But we've been like overtime basically. And it was like, you know, obviously, like, you know, so much tea, so much to process. And
It's a
we
lot.
could keep,
It's a lot.
yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, we could keep going on. And there's like, the whole bash scene, the whole BBW community, this whole industry, like, you know, what do you call it, like 3 or 4, whatever, it's such a deep rabbit hole.
Mhm.
I you know, where do you start, where do you stop, right?
Yeah, and you know what? Make your money, ladies. You know, make your
Yes.
money. If there's guys willing to pay you, make your money. No one's mad about that. Let's be real here. I know that when I go to the Cocoa Beach Bash, I know there's plenty of content creators who are
Oh,
selling their services.
every
Every
bash
bash,
now,
and that's fine.
every bash, every
No one should.
time, like, you know. And I always say, like, you know, what happens between consenting adults, go right ahead, you know. Like, I
Yeah,
would never,
if it's
sit
not
here.
hurting anybody. then knock
I would
yourself
never.
out, and people shouldn't be shamed for that at all. They shouldn't, because I agree wholeheartedly. I've said that forever. What Audrey's saying, there's people who are giving away nude pictures for free, sexting for free, fucking people for free, and you're gonna get mad at a sex worker because
Yeah, that's.
they're doing what you're doing. They're getting paid to do what you do for free. And I've always believed that. I worked in a strip club myself. I worked a door at a strip club, and and I always stood up for the strippers. Like, you're just mad, because I had people be like, "Oh, strippers are so disgusting. How could you be friends with them?" And they're some of the coolest people I ever met. And I tell them, you're just mad because they're taking their clothes off for money, something you do for free, for like some random dude you met off the
Like,
internet.
the
Like,
fact that people are trying to shame Audrey is like, it's if that's all they have on Audrey, then that's basically the same thing as, like, calling somebody fat to trying to be shameful or whatever. If that's all you can say, if all you can do, if all you have is calling somebody fat, then she must be really a good person. Or, like, if
yeah.
calling her a 3 or 4 is the worst thing you can say about Audrey, then apparently she's never done anything to you, because otherwise you would be saying that. And
I just hope that with this, I know I've said a lot of harsh things, and I don't take them back. I stand on what I say, and I say it with my chest 10 toes on the ground. My final
oh yeah.
thought is, I hope that the people we talked about tonight, and people who listen to this who might decide they want to partake in activities, do better. Please just do better. Not for my sake, because again, whatever you do doesn't really affect me. I'm in my own little world here in Tennessee, doing my own thing, making my own content, whatever. I'm just asking, out of respect to Darren and his family and to Shay, do better. Because, like I said, agree. You can grieve however you want. You can grieve for however long you want, or however short you want. You can go have sex with a whole bunch of people. Just keep it off the internet for a good amount of time, so the family and the friends have time to process Shay's passing. That's the least you can do. And if you have any sense of respect, Jack, issue an apology to Shay's family. Don't worry about the friends. Worry about the family, because what you did was a
And
slap in the face.
really,
Just
really quick,
apologize. Do the right thing and apologize.
I need to
That's
address
oh,
the chat really quick. People saying that, I've been talking bad about sex workers. Absolutely never. The only time that I've ever, quote unquote, like, kink shamed or sex worker shamed or anything was Piggy, in order to bring it across how twisted and how deflective it all was. Somebody that's been running a multiple year 350 video on TikTok hate and slander campaign against me, claiming that I'm a predator, I'm a fetishizer, I'm a this, I'm a that, like, I'm a PDF. When you are all these things yourself, that's what I said. I said you shouldn't be throwing stones when you're sitting in the glass house. Don't tell people that I'm doing things that I'm actually not doing, because you don't have any proof for it, when you are actually doing these things. Don't call me like, don't bring it, like, into, like, underage and, like, child PDF and all that kind of stuff, when you are the one that publicly posts about wanting to get entangled into, like, sexual things while you're feeling like a
you
4-year-old and you
showed
want to
me
be
that
put in
picture.
diapers.
You
That's
you showed in chat, and I will back Stefan on this, because when I picked Jack
that's
up, Stefan had shown me that picture of Piggy
Oh God,
on
I
her
showed you.
fat line.
And there's more. There's more. Since then,
I
we
know,
all, as a collective,
because that
we dug
night
out some
when we
more.
went to the hotel, I decided to pull up her fet license. I have one too. And
Yes,
there was more. There was a whole bunch of them. And Jack and I were like,
yes.
whoa. And
And
since that she started gaining momentum of the documentary, she took all of them down, because I went and checked and she took them all down. And I'm gonna tell you, I put this on my child's head, y'all. She was sitting there writing stuff on her saying to R me. And there's one picture I did manage to save, and unfortunately it's on this phone, where she wrote that I am a drug.
who said that?
And
Who said that?
Piggy Stardust. I
Oh,
saved the
Piggy.
picture.
Okay. Oh yeah, you
Piggy
just
said
send that.
his white
You need
trash
to
drug whore. And
you need
she
to
wrote
send
this
that to
on
me.
yeah, and all that. So and Jack Kelly seen that with me. And you know, one of Pow's lives, I had brought that up. I said Piggy Stardust needs to keep her mouth shut, and because she promotes SA behavior,
That stuff.
and
Yeah, yeah.
their response was, "Well, it's consent." No, the, you consent or not to sit there and make yourself a martyr for SA survivors and decide that this is going to be the hill you die on. But on the back end, you've got pictures
Right.
fetishizing to be
Exactly. That's the
SA.
only thing. That's the only thing.
That's
That's why
wild.
I said, I wanted to make
You
that clear at
can't
the very end, Don't
you can't be a
go out
martyr.
there pointing fingers and shaming people when you're doing worse, that like I always want people to understand that like I never went and just randomly shamed somebody. I defended myself by saying same thing with Pau, of course I shamed
Mhm.
Pau for doing what she's doing because she's always constantly blaming me. Stefan is the problem. Stefan is the reason why I'm doing sex work. Fuck you. No, she did the whole sex work thing by herself. She only used my house for it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
All right. Rissa, don't fall asleep.
It's like I
Anyway,
want to
like
go to bed.
yeah, I wanted to say like it's late over there anyway, right?
The
Thank
lie
you for
detector
coming
test
on.
determined that was a lie.
What?
Who lied? Rissa?
Who?
What the helly?
What?
Rissa, we have the soundboard thing.
The lie
Guys,
detector test determined you are telling the truth.
yeah. Guys, thank you all, everybody, like chat and the panel. Like, we have, because we went so much overtime, K-Buck's internet died. Audrey had to go to the litter box. We've lost people along the road because we were supposed to go from 6. We were supposed to go from 6 to 7. And yeah, thank you, Glory, for coming on and
Thank
telling
you
your
for having
story.
me.
It was definitely
Thank
it's
you.
always going to be interesting. It's always going to be it's always
Yeah.
going to be some.
Thank you. Thank you, chat,
And
for being here and listening to what I have to say. Whether you agree with it or don't, thank you for being here. And I hope it just shines a light if you're following all this. I just hope it shines a light. Like I said, I don't have a dog in the fight, but I really felt motivated and moved to say my piece. That way Darren feels that he's supported and his thoughts, his theories, his opinions, and his feelings are validated because of what I have seen, what I've experienced. So I really hope
I was
that
gonna
brings
say
him a little bit of peace.
I was gonna say that too. If Darren is gonna go live, like we're all gonna go and watch him. Like I don't know if he's still in the chat, but yeah. Again, thank you so much for coming on. You can
Thank you for
basically
having me.
you can disconnect. Like just hit the hang up button right now.
Okay.
On
Bye. Oh, bye,
bye,
guys.
Glory.
So much love. Have a good night.
Good night. And Sumi, did you want to say any closing words before we get off the stream? We are at 8:15. We're basically 2 hours and 15 minutes. Thank you guys for all sticking around. Thank you. Another extended episode, so to say. There's always so much to say, so much to talk about, and I believe that we're going to have another special guest coming up on Wednesday. So the next stream is going to be Wednesday. We're going to take a break tomorrow, no Tuesday, but we are going to be back on Wednesday. And sorry, Sumi, I was basically trying to have you something, and then I talked over you.
You're okay. She's gone now, but I wanted to thank her for coming on. I really appreciate it. I mean, if she ends up rewatching, I've been following Glory Fox since before I started following Paradise, and she is a trailblazer and highly respected. I appreciate her so much for coming on here and speaking her truth, because I know it's a difficult thing, especially when people are very quick to make assumptions or judge, or like it's good to ask questions, but it's not good to attack someone's character. And I hope everybody has a awesome night and sleeps so well.
Thank you guys, and we'll see you guys again on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time.
The lie detector test determined that was a lie.
Who said that? Who the fuck said that?
Welcome to Fatty, where the gossip's hot, the laughs are free. Spill the tea, no calorie count. Real talk's what we're all about. So grab a snack, come sip with me. You're listening to Fatty.